Episode 1, let's go. And welcome to the first episode of the White Noise Podcast. I'm Ethan.
I'm Gavin.
And behind the glass is Jacob.
Hello there.
All right, Gavin, let's get right into it. What's your highlight of the week?
Oh, boy. Okay, so I'm a busboy, right? So I'm cleaning tables, and by accident, I may or may not have spilled the drink on a table, right? And so there were ice cubes and whatever, and so I was already kind of mad at that because I was like, oh, man, I got to clean that up. So I quickly yanked off the tablecloth, and I sent ice cubes flying.
This is your highlight?
Yep. They all hit the same guy in the back of the head, and he was bald and everything, so it was like, oh, I know those ice cubes hurt. And so immediately I quickly turned around and acted like I was tying my shoe or something. And there was a kid right behind him. And so he looked at the kid all angrily. And the kid looked at him. And then they just kind of looked away from each other. And I was just dying the whole time. My coworker saw it, though, and she was laughing. She thought it was pretty funny, too.
That's
a funny highlight.
Yeah.
right.
Not the first time it's happened, though, of course.
Not the first. I know. I feel like I've heard stories of you dropping glasses all the time.
I've dropped drinks on people. The looks I get are just crazy, too. They get so mad about that.
Is it better than them dropping the drinks when you have to clean it up?
Yeah, because at least I get a laugh out of it.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
It's a little sadistic. Nice. All right.
Wow. Okay. Ethan, go ahead. What was your highlight?
My highlight. Well,
I mean, anything can top spilling a drink on somebody, but
It was a highlight for me, okay? Not for them so much.
that's
It was a
fair.
highlight
That's
for
fair.
me.
I'll give you that.
all right. Well, I watched Shanghai Noon
Great
earlier
movie.
this week.
That's amazing.
Jackie Chan.
I don't know what the hell that movie is.
It's a Western rush hour, basically.
All right. Now you got my attention. Maybe I'll watch
Jackie
that.
Chan and Owen Wilson.
I can't believe
very funny
you've never
deal.
seen Shanghai Noon?
No, I have not.
Wow. That's a great movie.
The last Owen Wilson movie I watched, I think, was Armageddon. I mean, not like...
I would not qualify that as an Owen Wilson movie.
Well, okay, well, I guess Cars counts, right? I did watch Cars.
That's more
2
of
weeks
an
ago.
Owen Wilson movie than Armageddon is. Yeah, for sure.
Owen Wilson was in Armageddon, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in it, but I mean, if anything, that's a Bruce Willis movie. If anything. There's like 50 people in that movie, though.
Eh,
Like last time I saw a Gwyneth Paltrow movie was Iron Man 2.
that counts.
Barely.
Barely.
Whatever.
Aerosmith, though. Go for Armageddon.
All right. Speaking of movies, let's get into our movie of the week.
Yes, sir. So, as you guys know, Spider-Man No Way Home premiered this past weekend. Past week, whenever you saw it. So, I'm assuming both of you saw it opening night, because I was there with you guys. Let's go.
Actually, I
That is
wasn't
correct.
there.
That is correct.
What do you guys think?
Uh,
No spoilers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Easily, probably one of the top 3. I think it was a top 3 Spider-Man movie. Not the best, but I mean, from what I've heard from other people, my Spider-Man movies aren't quite the most audience approved.
Yeah. And that's coming from Gavin, who doesn't really like the character of Spider-Man. And just bare bones, yeah, you don't like the character of Spider-Man, right? Me, I love the character of Spider-Man. Grew up with the Tobey Maguire movies and everything. And No Way Home is a good movie. I wouldn't rank it as top 3. I would say a lot of it has to do with all the nostalgia and the spectacle. And Jacob actually mentioned it was an okay movie, but like an ultimate experience.
Yeah, like as a movie, like if you're critiquing the story, the plot, whatever, yeah, sure, it's mediocre at best. But like going to see this movie after the years that you've seen, you know, Toby way back then, Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, Tom Holland, the MCU, watching this movie as it all comes together was like what got everybody going, what made it fun to watch.
Yeah, and
Not necessarily that it was like an amazing Spider-Man movie. It was so good. It was great because of the movie, but because of going to see all that happen.
Yeah. So, and me, I'm a huge sucker for nostalgia and references and callbacks and fan service. Mm-hmm. But I'm able to identify that with this movie and kind of just see it as it's a good movie. but not like the best Spider-Man movie ever made, which most people are claiming.
Okay. So, like, out of 10, go. How many? I go 8 out of 10.
I'd probably do 7.
7?
7.
Yeah. No, like 7 or 8.
Okay.
7's fair.
What's your favorite one? If you swear to God, if you say Spider-Man 2, I'm going to punch you
You
straight
know
in the
it's
fucking face.
Spider-Man 2.
Oh, my God. Why?
Because Spider-Man 2, from an artistic standpoint, not like a comic book movie, air quotes, standpoint, but like an artistic filmmaking standpoint, the story, the character, even the drama in it, with just the weight of the story and the plot. That's why I like it. As a kid, it was my least favorite movie. It wasn't until like maybe 4 years ago that I was like, this is the best Spider-Man movie.
I mean, I liked Spider-Man 2. I'm not going to bash it and say that it was a bad movie, but to say it was the best, oh, no, I don't think so. I still think Spider-Verse is the best one. I think it is.
I'm with Gavin on that one.
I can understand that.
Spider-Verse.
I can respect that. I just don't agree. And that's all opinion based. So
It's all
fine.
opinion-based. Well,
Okay.
I mean, it is all opinion-based, but
yours
is wrong. So.
I will I will put Spider-Verse in like top 5.
Top 5? What about top 3? What's the top 3? The
Well,
Raimi trilogy?
I already explained this to you. Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie. Everything after that just changes on my mood that day. On like what I want to watch, what I feel like watching.
Understandable.
I will say, not a fan of the Tom Holland movies, Homecoming or Far From Home. Love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So my favorite portrayal of him as Spider-Man is in Civil War. I feel like that's one of the most accurate portrayals of Spider-Man we got.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. The Amazing Spider-Man was pretty
All
good,
right,
in my
let's
opinion.
move on.
Whoa. We're not speeding past this.
Okay.
What did you not like about The Amazing Spider-Man?
I will sit down and watch The Amazing Spider-Man before I watch any of the Tom Holland movies.
But why wasn't The Amazing Spider-Man a top 3 movie? In your opinion?
It just didn't feel like Spider-Man. Like Peter Parker, I feel like Peter Parker was kind of a jerk, and so was Spider-Man. Like his quipping.
That's how Spider-Man is.
Too chat.
At least in the movies they were.
Chat. No, he was.
Okay.
I like Andrew Garfield. Like I've always said, Andrew Garfield did amazing with what he was given. It was the writing, the story, that it just felt like a spy movie compared to a Spider-Man movie.
The reason I didn't like the Raimi movies as much as I liked Andrew Garfield's movies.
Tell me why.
Tell me why?
I know exactly what you're going to say. Tell me why.
Oh, wait. I don't think I was going to say what you say. So what do you think I was going to say?
No, you say what you're going to say.
I, for one, did not like MJ. Wasn't a fan of MJ.
She's the worst part of the series, yeah.
And I honestly just, I don't know. She just screamed too much. It was,
In
She
Spider-Man
screamed far too
Spider-Man
much.
3, all her screams are recycled from Spider-Man 2.
Exactly. In Spider-Man 2, she screamed all the time. It was just like, why does she got to scream all the time? I feel like she should be accustomed to this at this point.
She was the weakest point of the trilogy, like her character.
And I mean, no hate on Kirsten Dunst at all.
Oh yeah,
but I
no,
mean,
it was her character. Like she was.
Not to mention, I just thought she was so mean.
She was mean.
Peter.
Yeah,
It was like-
she was horrible to Peter.
The whole time, I'm like, where's Gwen at, bro? Like, screw Mary Jane.
Like, yeah,
where
Peter
is
made
Gwen?
some mistakes, especially in 3, but like it was her that was just mean and
that's what I liked so much about The Amazing Spider-Man. Gwen, she was cool. I liked Gwen.
yeah, and
She did more aside from just screaming.
she was actually supportive.
I know.
I loved Gwen.
I wrote a paper on the Spider-Man trilogy a couple years ago.
Wrote a paper on
Like
it.
an analysis, like a 12-page analysis. Just for fun, too.
You know, I'm something of a writer myself.
I like that. That's perfect. All right.
We'll go right into this since we're talking about all those movies and the quips and quarrels you have with that. The state of the film industry with original films from 20 or so years ago being rebooted nowadays. Quick ones that I could think of, like the Ghostbusters being rebooted. Are they coming out with another one?
Yeah.
Or
but,
did it already come out?
The one with Paul Rudd?
yeah.
That one already came out.
It already came out?
No, there was like with all the women got
that one
rebooted,
came out
and
in, like,
then
2015 or
there was
something.
another reboot after that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with Paul Rudd, right?
Okay.
But the
that
Paul
just
Rudd
came
one
out.
is supposed to be continuation, whereas the all-female, like the Melissa McCarthy one, was just like its own
Spin-off, like never happened.
So spin-offs, reboots, whatever.
But I believe the Paul Rudd one takes
Adaptations.
place right after Ghostbusters 2.
It's all confusing.
Yeah, so I mean, myself obviously not a huge fan of reboots, or I don't expect much. Like, I can watch and enjoy it, of course, but I don't
Yeah.
expect much. What do you guys think?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, my thing with reboots is the reboots are, most of the time they should be at least, better in like technological quality. They should be better films as far as like the filmmaking process. Doesn't necessarily mean they're better story wise or character wise or any of that. And those reboots versus original films, they always get more attention because they're known. They're already established stories.
Yeah, I mean, like my favorite reboot was probably It. I don't know if you guys have seen It Chapter 1 and Chapter 2.
I've only seen Chapter 1, and I never saw the original, so.
I think the original one was kind of cringy, not gonna lie. It was almost as if like Pennywise was kind of like supposed to be more comedic, and I guess in the remakes they weren't really going for that. Skarsgård was amazing as Pennywise, but like, and there were moments where I did laugh at Pennywise, but Tim Curry's Pennywise from the 90s, it seemed like he went for more comedic rather than horror, and it was like a complete 180 when it came to Skarsgård. So I think they did a really good job in that aspect, and I think reboots can do really well when they pay respect to the source material that they're rebooting it from. So, like for instance, Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Started.
I don't think I mean honestly, The Force Awakens was just New Hope. It was just literally the same movie,
But worse.
And they never. Maybe I didn't pay attention enough, but they didn't explain a lot for the characters to be where they are. Like, what was it like?
No, it didn't make sense either. Well, oh man, going into Star Wars, it always gets me pissed off because, Luke. They ended where Return of the Jedi ended. Their heroes saved the galaxy, whatever, all that kind of stuff, and then it's kind of like a dead period until it picks up into Force Awakens. You don't know what's going on. You assume there's like legends and whatever, but in Force Awakens, when it picks up, Luke is a failure, gone. Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, whatever, that whole situation sent him down. The down path, down bad. Han Solo, back to his smuggling ways. His marriage is in shambles with Leia, and everybody's kind of just like on the down. And they don't ever get like really redemption in the rest of the movies. So
yeah, that's true.
It's kind of like just trashing over the old characters.
Luke, Force Awakens
for no benefit of the new ones. Like,
I think Force Awakens ended on a cool note. It was like, oh my gosh, there's Mark Hamill, there's Luke
And then,
Skywalker.
And Last Jedi ruined it.
And then the Last
it kept
Jedi opened,
going.
and it was just like, what? Like, he threw the lightsaber away. And I mean, everyone in the theater laughed, but I mean, I guess I did chuckle a little bit, but not because it was funny, but because it was absurd. It was like, why? Why all of a sudden? First of all, why would he go hiding? This guy just risked his life like several times in the other trilogy,
right,
to help his friends, to save his friends, to save the galaxy. And now that there is a new, quote unquote empire, he just straight up goes Avatar and vanishes. Like,
well, the big thing about Luke and his dilemma, it can all be boiled down to his thing in the original trilogy was, I sense the good in you, Darth Vader. He never gave up. He always believed he could be redeemed. And then when this little inkling in Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, is like, oh, he might be going down the dark side, I should just whip out my lightsaber and kill him, as I'm standing over him.
Yeah.
There's
not true to the character. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. All the sequel trilogy, I mean, you can have your own opinions, whatever, if you like it, if you enjoy it, that's fine. I just think it kind of drags the original trilogy through the mud a little too much to be, rather than benefit from the old crowd or whatever.
Even with Palpatine coming back, it just
that was totally
disregards
unscripted.
all the other ones.
There's no way they plan to do that.
They've even said it. They've
yeah.
never had a plan. They went into Force Awakens and didn't have a plan for the other two.
Like I said, I always say I can sit down and enjoy any movie. Star Wars is really, really pushing that for me.
I will say, though, one thing I did like throughout all of the movies was the characters, I would say. I loved Poe, Finn. I mean, except for Rey.
I mean, yeah and no.
But the actors themselves, I did like the actors.
They're
I didn't think it was the actors' fault.
No, absolutely not. No, the actors are great. I wish they did more with them.
Exactly.
I wish Finn had a better storyline as ex-Stormtrooper. I don't know if you guys have seen Mandalorian Season 2 with Bill Burr's character, where he has his ex-Stormtrooper redemption or whatever. Way better than Finn had in all 3 movies. So,
And wasn't he only in that one episode or whatever?
yeah,
For that episode?
yeah. It was 15 minutes of that story. So, I mean, if they explored Finn's ex-Stormtrooper life and did something with that, great. That'd
like,
be way cooler than what they did.
Force Awakens opens with him getting all like PTSD because another Stormtrooper died in front of him. And then an hour later, he's stabbing Stormtroopers with lightsabers. Like,
I know. He was so willing to kill his own brothers in arms and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of it can be attributed to like the different directors and no real plan. There was literally a different director every time scheduled up until the last one where they're like, hey, we got to bring back
J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams. His name was escaping me. But yeah, they were like, oh, we got to bring him back.
And I think that another thing we can talk about when it comes especially to the Star Wars trilogy is like critical reviews and box office.
Well, with original movies, with good, even not even original, but like good movies, solid films that tell a good story that even aren't conventional filmmaking techniques or anything, they always do much poorer in the box office. And even though Star Wars, like Last Jedi, the sequel trilogy, don't do, like the fans don't like them, majority don't like them.
Right.
They break box office records, and they keep
Star Wars
they keep getting made. Like they have no regard for actually telling a good story or expanding the characters or even fleshing any of that out, because they're like, oh, let's make this, slap the Star Wars name on it, and we'll make money.
Yeah, I've always said, like, you could slap paint drying and just Star Wars, the paint dries, and it's gonna break box office just because of the term just because of the title.
Yeah.
If this was a different movie, completely unrelated, it would have failed.
That's what makes it unfortunate. That's what makes it really hard for young creators, new creators,
exactly,
and new storytellers, because everything's about like Marvel, and
it's almost like you kind of need a big name to make a good movie.
Exactly,
now.
Yeah.
Like I haven't seen it yet. I really wanted to, but the Dune, like that was a book, an old movie, and now it's being rebooted again.
Yeah,
but
I've heard things. It. I was gonna say
I haven't seen it yet, but
and then if we go off of like critical reviews, especially when it comes to Star Wars, like Last Jedi, that was like the best movie ever made. If we go off of the fucking like critical reviews on it, like the critics, wasn't it like a 90% at some point?
Yeah,
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well,
and stuff?
Rotten Tomatoes isn't a reliable source.
I don't know.
When I see critic reviews and they're good, I'm like, oh, this movie's bad.
I know, it's always the opposite.
Bad then.
Well, yeah, but that's what draws in the audience is the big name. That's what will get people to see the movie, is the big name, because of their commitment to their fandom. So,
and that's like I saw something where it's like, why don't movies and companies use like elaborate posters anymore? Like, why aren't they cool and creative? Why is it just an act? Why is it just the cast, just the faces?
Now, yeah,
because they're trying to cast a bigger net to the audience. Like, if you use artistic posters, the average person isn't that smart. So if you use like a cartoon-looking poster, people are going to think it's a cartoon movie,
right? And
it's not going to draw in the majority of audience.
But if you see Daniel Craig up on that poster, I'm going to go watch that movie.
Daniel Craig in a tuxedo, you're like, oh, another Bond movie. Yep. As simple as you can get. By the way, the new Bond movie was great.
Didn't watch that one yet either. I've been really slacking on my movies.
Yeah.
It's been hard. I guess we can jump right into our big chunk, our big segment.
Oh boy.
With the title and everything. The right, the wrong, and the ugly, where we judge your opinions.
Yeah.
So the
Those
topic,
viewpoints.
Where we judge my opinions.
Yeah.
That's what we're going here, based off of what I've already proposed to everybody.
Ethan, go ahead and introduce the topic.
All right. So this is something that Gavin and I have argued about for 2-3 years now. I'd say 2 years.
It's been a while. No conclusion.
Argue about it some more.
So basically, the topic is, if you have, this is more pertaining to guys, but I guess it can apply to girls as well. But if you have a best friend, a guy best friend, and he and his girlfriend break up, is it okay to go after the girlfriend?
Now, okay. So in order for my, I believe that it depends on the circumstances of what the breakup was.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, you say for like a smaller period of time, it depends on the circumstances.
Yes.
But if it's been like a year or two, it doesn't matter.
It still depends on the circumstances.
Really?
Like, Was this just like, oh, they just fell out of love with each other and they just mutually agreed to break up?
We'll say hypothetical for this situation is a mutual breakup.
It was a mutual breakup.
If anything, like one side is maybe like, oh, if we could have stayed together, I would have, but I'm fine right now.
Or like if it's like that, then I would say it's
more mutual.
After some time has passed, yes, I don't see that being completely messed up on the best friend's part, especially if you're the one that initiates the breakup. If it's like that situation.
Okay. Well, obviously, it's known that I do not agree with that.
So are you on the extreme then, Ethan? Like absolutely off limits, no matter what?
I will say there are.
I do believe that regardless of the scenario, there has to be a certain set of time before the pursuit of this relationship.
I will say there are certain exceptions, as every rule has an exception. But those are still very rare.
Well, okay. One scenario that I'm just straight up like is a no-no regardless. If she like cheated on him, or if she or he, whatever. If the significant other of your best friend was the one that broke up with the other, was the one that like maybe they were, I don't know, emotionally abusive. They left a bad taste in your best friend's mouth some way or another. At that point, it is a little messed up, especially if they cheated.
Okay.
To go after that.
So only a little messed up? Like, let's say a year passes, it's okay to get with them?
I mean, in the end, I can't stop you. You can't stop me. It's like,
oh my God.
And that's where it just seems so wrong.
Personally, I do it.
Let's just stick to the situation then. Mutual breakup for the most part.
Then yes, after
a year.
After a year, yeah, totally. I think it's perfectly okay.
And you, like you two, Ethan and Gavin, his girlfriend, they mutually break up. You go after her if you wanted it?
If I truly had feelings for her, first of all, I'd have to confirm, like, is this worth what I'm, like, is this just something?
That introduces a whole set of problems.
Well, hold on. No. Do I truly like this girl, or am I just going after her? Like, if I'm truly feeling something for this girl.
Something that we've argued about in the past is, how do you present it to the friend in question?
I mean, I would just tell you, like, hey, this is what's happening. This is how I feel. This is what I'm going to be doing. If you're asking, like, would I ask permission? No, I would not. If you said you were against it, I'd just shrug, be like, I'm sorry to tell you that. I'm sorry to hear that.
Wow.
That sucks.
That's very
That's why I'm always on the fence.
The heart wants what the heart wants.
I'm always on the side of, that's why it shouldn't be even a possibility. Like, don't put yourself in the situation where you would develop feelings for that girl, because it's the heart, you say the heart wants what the heart wants, and
correct. You don't get to choose who you fall in love with. It just happens.
Okay, but like,
if they were together for some time, and
if this was
I'm assuming that's where you interacted a lot of the time.
If this was like
that
Ethan's
means
wife,
you're getting a good.
Okay, this is going like if they're like girlfriend and boyfriend. If this was like Ethan's wife of like 15 years, I would then argue, no, I probably would not go after them, regardless of what happened or the amount of time.
I'm glad you have some boundaries.
But if this was like
to certain stipulations,
but if this was like Ethan's girlfriend of like
3 years,
okay. They were serious, whatever, but they both fell out of love with each other. Let's just say Ethan tells me, "Oh, I don't know what we want to do in our relationship anymore. I'm kind of losing feelings for her. I think I'm going to end it off with her." Then yeah, if the next week or the next day, Ethan comes to me and goes, "I broke up with her."
So then how is it like? Yeah, like I break up with her, and then it's I don't really want to.
I would
see her again. I don't want to. I don't want to be so like.
You don't have to see her again.
Then it becomes a thing of, how does that affect our friendship?
It wouldn't. I wouldn't. Like, what do you think? How would it affect?
For example, a birthday party
to your wedding.
Birthday party.
Birthday party or what? Yeah, that's really dramatic. Like, if you guys end up getting married, am I invited? Am I standing up with you on?
Of course,
on your side.
I mean,
while you're marrying my ex-girlfriend,
it would be up to you.
Okay,
I would personally invite you, but it would be up to you if you wanted to show up.
Do you consult him before, like?
I told you, yeah. I would consult.
How long? How like? Where do you have to be at with your feelings with this girl before you consult me?
Like I said, I'd have to be pretty, like, I'm pretty sure I have the hots for this girl. I'm pretty sure there's a chance this can happen.
So you haven't
if
even,
this
like...
Is like if I know that your girlfriend does not like me at all, I'm not going to pursue her regardless of what happened or amount of time. Mm-hmm. But if I feel like there's genuinely a chance, then after, like, your quote-unquote mourning period or whatever, then yeah, I'm going to tell you, like, hey, this is what's going on.
I think it's weird to have any interaction with her after the breakup.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
That
Unless
means
you're truly feeling stuff for her.
If you did, then you developed feelings for her while they were still in a relationship, which is kind of weird to begin with.
I mean, it's weird, but again, you don't get to choose. You don't get to pick and choose.
So
I
it's
think
weird
you
if
can't. You can suppress that.
you can, sure.
You can suppress that.
It's weird,
especially in the early stages.
It's
but
weird
like,
if you act on them while they're together, or even close after they've broken up.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
if
That is
Ethan,
weird.
like if Ethan broke up with his girlfriend, 2 days later I get together with her. That's fucked up
On
because
both
I
parts,
clearly,
too. Yep.
I clearly had eyes on her,
Yep.
and I was just waiting for it to happen.
yeah.
Okay, well, so we'll go back to the situation. Ethan and his girlfriend, 3 years together. They mutually break up. A year has passed. And what, you run into her at the grocery store, and then you're like, oh, hey,
Yeah, like
hey,
if-
that's
if-
Ethan's ex-girlfriend.
if she
You know
talked
what?
to
She's
me-
kind of cute. Hey, do you want to go out to have lunch sometime? And she says yes. You go through with all that, and you...
I imagine that would probably be a question I would ask her too. Be like, what happened between you and Ethan? Like, what? If
I
if
don't
she
think-
said the same reason he did, then I imagine that it's like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I don't
This
know.
is also assuming that the girlfriend is going along with this as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, if there's no genuine chance, like if I know that his girlfriend doesn't like me or isn't into guys like me, I wouldn't pursue it at all.
Okay, so if you
Even
were,
if I did have feelings for
if
her,
you were
I
dating a
wouldn't.
girl, 3 years, same thing happens. You guys break up.
Okay.
You are like, oh, I don't want to be with her anymore. We fell out of love.
Yeah.
6 months pass.
Are we going 6 months or a year?
Let's just stay with same topic. A year.
So a year.
Passes,
Okay.
and then, like, I start talking with her, and then let's say it will cut into our friendship. There's
Okay.
there's gonna be times where
I mean, I'm going to be honest. Obviously, anybody's going to feel like a little pinch when they see. Like, if I saw you holding hands with her, I'd be like, at first, but I'm not going to end the relationship over it. I wouldn't be like, "Fuck you, Ethan. I hate you. I hate you so much. Like, how could you?" Like,
That's definitely subjective to everybody then. Everybody's
Yeah.
going to react.
well, that's why I said
differently
it
to that.
depends on what it. Now, if she like broke my heart, smashed my car, cheated on me, did all sorts. She's emotionally abusive to me,
well-
and then you got together with her, I'd be like, after everything I told you that she did to me, you still thought it was a good idea to get together with me.
Let's just say she's like, you know what, Gavin, this isn't working out. I think we should break up. But you really wanted to be with her.
I really did.
Yeah, like you love her, love your life.
Okay.
A year passes. Let's even say you're in another relationship now.
If your friend is in a different relationship, I don't care how much
Early
time.
stage
I don't
relationship.
I don't
Oh
care
my
how much time
God.
passes. If your other friend
No, there's still
is
boundaries.
if your other friend is moved on, that's not
Yeah.
fair.
And you want to go on a double date? Yeah.
I wouldn't ask you
wanna
to
hang
do
out?
That means you're
That's
putting
different.
his
If I
girlfriend
wanna-
in that position to be like,
Yeah.
oh,
At
this
that-
is my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend,
At that
and now
point-
his friend is dating
Why would
her.
I ask to go on a double date? At that point, you're purposely trying to create conflict.
It's just
I wouldn't go to your mom's funeral and be like, "Hey, yo, on moms, did you do this?" Like, what?
I think
wouldn't.
as a friend, you don't put your friend in that situation.
I wouldn't.
It's
if you
no
were-
matter what.
If you had
No
broken
matter
up,
what.
if
No
you
matter
had
the
broken up with
circumstance.
someone, if you had
You're
broken up with
saying
someone,
you can't control what the heart wants.
Well, that's
the
what
heart
I was
wants.
also
No,
saying.
The heart
That-
doesn't get it.
that's
at
what
that
I was
point.
also saying. If she breaks up with you, that's a total different story. But if you broke up with her, then it's different. Like,
I don't think
There's
so.
also a thing called timing.
exactly. That's why
That
I
means
also
your
said
friend
time.
got with her first. Timing's off. Doesn't matter.
yeah, off limits in my opinion.
I don't.
It was
I don't feel that way.
Brandon that agreed with Gavin.
Oh God, Brandon.
Don't feel that way. I don't like,
Brandon,
especially.
what are you doing?
Like I said, if she breaks up with you and you're clearly heartbroken over it, would I go over it? I mean, do I think it's a little fucked up? A little.
That should say something.
Would I do it? No. Just because I see how obviously destroyed you are over it, that would be screwed up as a friend to do that. But if you broke up with her and you told me yourself, maybe reassured it like 2 or 3 times that you don't have feelings for her, I'm going, the moment you start to be like, why are you dating her? I thought you didn't have feelings for her.
So
were you lying?
Do you
it
ask
does-
for permission then?
I told you I would apprise you of the situation, but
It doesn't
I would
matter.
not
It's
ask
not
for permission.
I don't think it matters
No, I
about,
would not ask
about
permission.
feelings. It just matters about the principle.
Yeah, like you,
Of, like-
hey,
I wouldn't be
are
like
you
talking
okay
behind
with
your
this?
back or something.
Like
Well, I feel like at that point it's like it's either our friendship or this girl.
Well, okay, let's just say you're
I
in that
feel like you're
situation.
putting yourself in that situation with,
So then let me-
without
so-
consulting your friend first.
Let me rebuttal it then. Say you do love your friend's girlfriend or whatever, and she gets together with you, and you guys are mad in love. Are you just gonna be like, "Damn, bro code, gotta split"?
I don't think I would put myself in that situation.
It's easy to say that now. It's easy to say that now.
When it happens to me, I'll let you know though.
I mean, it doesn't happen to everybody, but I mean, I'm just saying.
That's why.
I don't think it. I don't know.
That's why you set up that boundary. Like, oh, this girl, yeah, she's attractive, but that's Gavin's ex. I'm not going to even put myself in the situation to where I could fall for her.
If you wanted to ask permission, you can.
Yeah.
If you wanted to ask permission, you can. But I don't feel like you have to.
No, well,
I don't feel like you have to. I don't feel like it should be a requirement. I
if
think it
they've
should
been
be a
together
requirement.
for 3 years, I feel like that's a requirement.
I think it should be a
matter
requirement
how
to at
much.
least tell somebody. I feel like it should be like if I did that behind your back and you didn't even know, that's screwed up.
So how
That's
would
not fair.
how would it work around like certain events and gatherings?
It just depends on the circumstances of the breakup. Was this a bad breakup, or did you, like I said, was it a mutual agreement?
It's a breakup,
We're assuming the hypothetical here. Assume the hypothetical.
mutual breakup,
So it's a mutual breakup.
Yeah.
Then
a mutual breakup, but like it ended badly. It's
so
not
it
like-
ended badly.
ended badly in the sense of like this isn't working out. Like we need to break up, and she's like, yeah, it's not working out. we
Ended
need to break
badly.
up.
How so? Like
So Ethan invites you to the Spider-Man premiere. Says, I got tickets. You say, hey, can I bring your girlfriend? Your ex-girlfriend?
like I said, I probably would try not to hang out with her and Ethan at the same time, just because
And
that's purposely
that's
trying
where
to
you
create
put
conflict.
the
It's like you're juggling.
conflict. Yeah,
you know,
it's
you,
a
Well, then I would
you can't live a
probably-
double life. You should learn. You should watch Spider-Man 2. They talk
Spider-Man
about it
2.
a lot.
Yeah, that is true.
Living a double life.
I think a huge level of
Yeah,
respect
Spider-Man No Way Home
is
completely ripped that
required
off.
for this choice. Yes. I think that if it was like if we're going by bad breakup, I don't know what that means. That's a broad term for different breakups. Like
It's just like things ended badly. Like
was this like your parents didn't approve of it and you loved her but you had to break it up anyway?
Like,
Or was
Assuming
this
the
like,
hypothetical.
like a bad breakup.
so you
in the
both
sense
just fell out of love. You
they
can't
would-
say bad breakup. That's
No,
not
like-
the hypothetical.
I wish we could still be together, but it's just not going to work out. Like both of us feel that
Why
way.
isn't it going to work out?
That there's
You can't just
there's
be
a
like,
million
I just
hypothetical
I just don't
situations.
feel like it.
There's a million
Well,
hypothetical.
the hypothetical that we're
situations.
dealing with is that you both just fell out of love and you don't really
Really
want to be
busy with
together.
work. We don't really have time to see each other anymore. We're just going to break it off.
So we're changing it then. So it's not so much
It's
that
just a mutual.
so it's not so much that you fell out of love. It's just you don't have time for each other.
You're the one that's been saying fell out of love.
That
this
was the
entire time.
first hypothetical. It's like you both fell out of
It was a
love.
mutual
and you
breakup.
agreed that you didn't want to be together anymore.
There's so many different ways that could go about.
So
it. I
did
don't want to
they
get
not-
too specific.
did they
'cause
not
then
wanna
you
be
focus
together,
on
or
it.
they couldn't
You're
be
getting
together?
really into the specifics to try to justify your reasoning.
Did they not want to be together, or could they not be together?
We're gonna assume
they couldn't be, or they didn't want.
Don't
to be.
want to anymore.
They don't want to be anymore.
No.
That's different than couldn't be.
That doesn't mean about
No.
feelings though.
That's exactly what that means. Couldn't be together means you guys had to break up for something other than not falling in
Okay,
love. with
don't
them,
get
or
too
falling in
hung
love.
up on the details.
That's
It's the details,
I already
yeah.
stated so many times.
Yes.
So
So yeah,
entirely
we know
in-
every situation is different. We know it's we
It
got it. I'm
impacts-
glad you have the details.
Okay. Me and my girlfriend break up.
'Kay.
You end up getting with her.
That's so. Oh my God.
Oh, your reaction is bad, right?
okay.
That's bad, right?
So why did you break up? How much time went past?
Oh, I don't know because it's a hypothetical. It doesn't matter. Let's just say she broke up with me.
Then no.
A year has passed.
I already told you no. If she breaks up with you, it's totally different. Probably wouldn't.
You would never get with them.
Okay, good. Wow.
Like I said, if it was her fault, no.
Is there ever a situation where it's never?
Where it's never her fault.
Yeah, in a
Like
mutual
if she
breakup.
loved him, but Ethan
Nothing
was like,
extreme.
if she loved him, but Ethan was like, nope, I don't want to do it, and then broke up with her, then yeah, I would say like, I mean, I thought you didn't like her anymore.
You're bringing
right?
that chick around even though she loves me.
Well, I mean, if she changes, like if she goes, like if she, like,
Sensitive.
let's just say she loves you, right? Then she stops, or no, then you stop loving her. You break up with her, and she's like, oh my gosh, why can't this work? Whatever. You go, nah, sorry, can't work. I get together with her. She changes, but now you're like, you try to get back at her, and she goes, no, I don't like you anymore.
Well, why are
just
you
saying
throwing
feelings-
it? Why are you throwing in the second?
Feelings can change, is all I'm saying.
Okay, this is getting
It's
really
getting really
into
specific.
it.
This is not based off true events. If anyone is wondering,
All I'm saying, if she breaks up with you, total different story. That entirely depends on the details at that point.
all
But
right,
most of the time, like, I
would.
would say like 75% of the time, if she broke up with you, probably wouldn't pursue it.
Okay. So in the hypothetical,
For the love of God, please specify the hypothetical.
Oh my
Hold on,
God.
I
Because
have
clearly that's
I
changing
still
every
have
2
mine.
minutes.
I still have mine.
That is changing every like 20 seconds. Somebody specify the
You're
hypothetical.
getting really hung up on the details. That's
Yeah.
why I have to make
And
Because this is a highly okay.
Stop throwing the thing down.
This entirely depends on the details. That's why I've said that several times.
I don't think so though.
You're looking at a broad term.
Yes, it is broad.
Like, would you kill somebody?
Like there is.
No. Would you kill somebody to save your parents?
That's different. Then yes.
Well, I'm just saying, when you throw in some details, now your answer starts to change.
So would I get with
I
my
appreciate-
friend's girlfriend? No. Would I get with my friend's girlfriend if? No.
It depends.
No,
Depends. It literally
no,
depends.
it doesn't.
Oh wow, you got
I wouldn't get together with my friend's girlfriend,
Never,
but his ex.
never,
I mean, I wouldn't try to like steal her away
Nope,
from him
never.
or anything
okay.
like that.
So
never.
Even if she liked me
I
and
break
ended the
up-
relationship because of it, I probably would be like, "That's fucked." I wouldn't do that.
I break up with my girlfriend.
Okay,
All right,
gotcha.
Never.
a year goes by.
Off limits.
Okay.
You are now talking to her.
Off
Okay.
limits.
You guys been together for like 2 months now.
That's bad.
Okay, we've been together, or we're just talking.
Been together. Let's say you've been together.
Gone
Okay.
on dates.
Okay,
You hold hands.
so we're definitely
your-
past platonic. At this
It's your
point.
birthday.
Okay.
Big birthday party's thrown for you. How's that gonna work? Me going to your birthday as like your number one dude.
Hey, I've been seeing her,
mean-
so but you can come if you want.
At
We're
what-
not in fucking high school anymore. I wouldn't
At
assume
what-
it would just be like, I can't ever associate with her ever
At what
again. Like,
point? At what point in your guys' relationship do you tell me?
I told you, I would tell you before the relationship even started.
Oh,
I wouldn't ask permission, but
Some
I would
morals.
tell you.
So if you had a problem,
so
with
if you
it,
said, "Hey, I started talking with so and so,"
I would tell you before we even started talking. I would say like, hey, this
And
person hit me up. This is what's going to happen.
then how would you react?
oh, so this is her first time talking to you.
Yep, we talked. Maybe we did
Like,
meet in
oh.
the supermarket or something like that. And I immediately I would probably tell you, hey, this is what's going on.
What's going on? Like, what? Give me the specifics.
Okay.
Of
We'll
what,
say
what
you
are your
like her.
intentions?
We'll say
Okay.
you like her.
So I ask you, what are your intentions?
I'm honestly trying to see where this goes.
I don't appreciate that.
Then why'd you break up with her?
That's
It's not like
If you're not okay with other people being with her, then why did you break up with her?
that's it.
that's not the. Oh,
And why did you break up? Okay, so as you're saying, there needs to be specifics in every scenario and every hypothetical.
Correct.
There are
In this
the same
situation, it
the
does.
same amount of like spectrum and range in a breakup and reasonings behind a breakup.
Yes.
I think most breakups are going to include those specifics to where you wouldn't go with her.
Then in that case, then no, I wouldn't go with her.
But you're assuming that the breakup is fine.
If I'm told and under
Mo-
the assumption that
90
the breakup was fine, yes.
If the breakup's
most-
fine, for me, it's still off limits.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I disagree.
Like I said, it depends entirely how the breakup happened and who initiated
No, it does not.
Most-
you missed your shot. You
Damn.
you've ever heard a thing called fate? It wasn't with you on that with that
So,
girl.
okay,
so.
then what if I do get together with this girl and get happily ever after? Wouldn't you say that
Then
is
you
fate?
sacrifice the friendship.
I thought there. So no matter what, there is going to be that wedge in the friendship.
Yes.
with the two guys.
But at the same time, I feel
Can't
like the
have
other
both.
person, I
Damn.
feel like the person that did break up with the girl, when are you going to let go? Is the question that I'm going to, like, if we're at the wedding and you're still upset, I'm going to say, when are you going to let go of this?
He lets go of you as a friend.
If that,
He's with my ex. It's kind of weird.
if it's,
still.
then clearly I would say,
he wasn't willing to.
then I would say you didn't really
listen
fall
to
out of
me.
love with her. If you're willing to end if you're willing to end our friendship because I'm with her, then I would say you
I
truly
think-
still had feelings for her then.
it has a lot to do.
Because-
Recovering from a breakup has a lot to do with
I'm just saying,
familiarity and the fact that you're no longer around them. Being around them brings back memories and all that.
okay, hold on. Have you seen Pearl Harbor?
Yeah,
Oh God, I hate that. I hate that dynamic.
Okay.
that was a Ben Affleck is completely
Perfect-
right to feel
Perfect
upset.
scenario.
Isn't this how
of course he is, yeah.
yeah.
Isn't this how the debate came up?
No.
Is it? I don't think so.
Isn't it?
I think
It might have been. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Okay.
how long it's
obviously
been. It's been
Ben
since
Affleck is
2001.
completely allowed to feel upset.
Yeah.
You know, he wasn't even under the intention that they were broken up. He was just like, I don't even think he knew that she thought he was dead. Because he comes back and she's like, what the hell? And he's like, what's wrong? Like,
They thought he was dead, yeah.
they thought he was dead, but he doesn't. How would he know that? He got picked up by like a fisherman boat in France. How would he know
yeah.
that?
That's true.
I imagine when he got there, they were probably like, oh shit, hey, what's up, dude? Like, but you can't. So I would say he's totally justified by feeling angry.
Danny and Rafe, so that we can do names. Danny
Okay,
and Rafe.
but-
Rafe is Ben Affleck. Danny's the other guy.
But
it came
Danny
back
being
and
with
said-
her, I don't think Danny's a horrible friend for doing that. I don't.
think so.
I
I
don't.
would think so.
I think he is.
Danny.
That's not
Danny
fair.
should have been there as a friend, like,
Especially if
hey,
she came
we,
to him
we
first,
both
like-
lost this friend.
I think a lot of it's
That's
on
how they-
her
that's
too.
how it started.
Yeah,
That's
a lot
how
of
it
a lot of
started.
it's on both of them. Like, yeah, it's a sticky situation, but that's why you don't put yourself in that situation.
Yep.
again, the heart wants what the heart
You're
wants.
Good thing Danny dies, so then it just is all resolved.
Good thing. Yeah, great.
They did talk about it.
But they have
fought
a
each other
kid.
over it.
He
But
has,
they
to
ended
raise,
up-
he has to raise Danny's kid. That's messed up.
and he named it Danny too, I think.
Yeah, that's such a weird dynamic.
Michael
here's the
Bay,
thing.
what were you doing?
But Rafe and Danny, like, while obviously, yes, they were pissed at. Well, Rafe was more pissed at Danny, obviously.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Pearl Harbor, go watch it.
I mean, spoiler alert. But like I said, anger completely justified. But they end up reconciling over that. They end up managing to get over that fact. Obviously, is Rafe still going to be at 100%? I'm totally cool with you
They're in the
dating
middle
her.
of a war. Maybe that's what helped them get over it.
Or the fact that they weren't like 7 years old, and it was like, nope, you can't ever talk to that person ever again because I didn't like him enough to be with him anymore. So nobody else can be with him.
It's not
that I
about
know of.
maturity. It's just
Well, it didn't like them.
That's what we're assuming.
He thought he was. Are we still talking about Pearl Harbor?
I don't know anymore.
No, I was going more off the.
I think we should
situation
just
were
go to
talking
the
about.
fun fact of the day.
Okay, Gavin, what's the fun fact of the
We
day?
didn't really get a conclusion with that. So.
Feel
go
free
ahead
to
and
vote now on your phones.
Vote now at White Noise Podcast on Twitter.
Leave it in the comments who you
Doesn't
think was
exist.
correct and why.
Oh yeah, leave it.
If
in
you're
the
going to
comments.
disagree with me, which I'm going to assume,
When this episode airs, the Twitter will be live.
Maybe I don't know.
Maybe we'll see.
I do want to know. I want to know who else agrees with me because it's like going back to Danny and Rafe, like they got over it.
Okay, so let's do closing argument. Go, Gavin.
I think so long as the circumstances are correct and the amount of time has been given, your best friend should be allowed to pursue your ex-girlfriend. Now, if it's an ex-wife,
No,
that's
we're-
different.
No, we're
Okay.
concluding.
Okay, ex-girlfriend then.
That's all it says. Girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend then.
All right, and then my closing argument. I think best friend's ex-girlfriend is always off limits. Obviously, there are some certain circumstances, but don't put yourself in that situation to where it would affect the friendship. Because ultimately, it's messed up. It's about the principle and the bro code
I think
between the two friends.
the only way that would work is if it was a really short-term relationship, nothing serious, and your friend was like, "Hey, man, you should go for her."
Yeah,
That's the
But-
only way it would
only
work.
scenario it would work.
Every other time, it's, "Hey, you're my friend. We've been friends first before this girl, and anything happened between us, so
There are so many hypotheticals and situations
so
you can get in.
convoluted. I guess it's really important to you with all the details, but
I
I absolutes.
Like I
I'm a
said-
Sith. I deal in absolutes.
details details totally make the
So-
difference here.
You know what else
let's just
is
say-
in the details?
Oh, wait, hold on. Before
The
you
devil.
get to that. Oh, yes. So ultimately, you're going in blind.
I thought we said our.
You're-
so
I
closing
know.
arguments.
I just have to get
Closing.
Hold on.
Oh,
Oh man,
open up the box again.
strike that from the record.
Bring the whiteboard back in here.
Without any details,
Okay,
do you get with your best friend's ex-girlfriend?
no,
Okay, that's fair. Good. We can agree on that then.
that's not fair though. But I mean,
Nope, that's fair.
you
We
can't
can
just
agree on
end the
that.
argument
Look
off
at
that.
Look at that. I guess we did agree on that.
All right, for the
sh-
first episode of the White
fuck
Noise
yourself.
Podcast, Gavin has the fun fact of the day.
So for the fun fact of the day, cucumbers are really good for getting rid of bad breath. Sticking a slice of cucumber in the roof of your mouth every morning will help eliminate that bad breath. Strictly because it is primarily made of water and helps reduce dry mouth.
He didn't
Or
even
you
read
know.
that off anything. So
Wow. That was impressive. So I guess that makes sense, right? Like when sweat dries, like it
I have
smells.
not tested this theory. I have
You've
no
not
idea
tested
if this is correct.
It's only natural. Like if your mouth gets dry, then your breath would stink.
I
more,
did
right?
Google it though. It
yeah, that
wasn't.
kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
I did Google
Never
it.
really
It was
thought
more
about it.
so
Well, it's
like
also
water-based vegetables, like mostly made of water, like watermelon. I think also. Well, that's a fruit, but you know what I mean.
So just drink water.
That helps. But I mean, if you're in like a quick fix, downing an entire glass of water isn't gonna.
So when
Oh,
I have a
as much.
sliced cucumber handy, but not water, I can get rid of my breath.
or
Well, because it's-
toothpaste or mint.
I mean, if you
cucumber.
can't brush your teeth, obviously, but
All right.
I think
remember that.
I've also like tongue scrapers. That also helps with bad breath. So
Yeah.
if you have one of those, be sure to utilize it.
Interesting. Very fun fact.
Thank you, Gavin, for the fun
you're
fact.
welcome.
We'll go into our next portion of our segment. We'll get into the would you rather. So the question I'll pose to you guys, I'm going to reword it a little bit. So let's say you're in a space station orbiting the Earth, right?
Of course.
just
As
you
one is.
by yourself. And for some reason, there's this mysterious, magical, big red button on the space station
Yep.
with you.
Big and red,
Completely reasonable.
And we'll assume you know all this knowledge.
naturally.
There's an asteroid coming towards Earth.
Correct.
You can observe and just watch as this asteroid will have a 50% chance to hit the Earth. And it will kill all life on Earth. Or it'll miss, 50% chance. Now, you can press the button that's on the space station with you, and it will guaranteed kill half of all life on Earth, and the asteroid will be a non-issue. So your options are take your chances and roll the dice, see if the asteroid hits the Earth, kills everybody, or not, everybody lives. Or you press the button to save at least half of the people. 100%.
I'm pressing the button.
And I am not pressing.
That's
the
not even going to be a second thought in my mind. I'm going to
Really?
immediately press.
press the button. Just
I am
kill
immediately
half
pressing
of
the
Earth.
button.
And for the sake of argument, it's half of. It's like a Thanos thing. Like half of everyone around the globe. It's not going to be like, oh, well, if it just hits a certain country, then maybe. But no, it's
China,
just-
that'll be definitely like 80% of the world. So.
so it can't be China. But it's just sake of argument, half of the world.
Okay, yeah. Well, good, yeah.
Why would you press the button, Gavin?
Um,
You don't like gambling?
I'm pretty unlucky when it comes to that, so
That's fair.
I would rather be responsible for half the world being destroyed rather than the whole world being destroyed.
I don't think anybody would hold you responsible. There wouldn't be anybody around to hold you responsible.
Well, I mean, it's just more of like a mental thing. Like, I would have to live with that, regardless of the situation that I'm choosing here. Mentally, I'm going to be screwed after this.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I'm going to come
what
home
a
and
sacrifice.
the
your sacrifice.
last remaining
Bruce Willis would be proud.
Owen Wilson, too.
the remaining part of the world obviously is going to be like, oh my gosh, good job, thank you. However, I do think that there are going to be other people there that are going to be like, hey, there was a chance, like, especially, like, let's just say if it is a Thanos thing, everybody in your family dies because I press this button.
Damn.
But you'd stayed alive, and so did the other half. Are you going to resent me for that?
Well, this is why I wouldn't press the button.
Yep. I'm with you on that one.
Oh.
I don't press the button.
I don't
Well,
because
yeah. I think I went back and forth while I was thinking about it. But I wouldn't press the button.
I wouldn't press it because it's either it misses, everything's fine, or it hits the earth and everyone's dead.
There's nothing I can do about
It's
it.
not a problem in that sense. Like it's either
Everybody,
everyone's
no
dead.
problems
Planet is
around if
dead.
everybody's dead, eh?
That's kind of
Nobody can be upset at you if there is nobody left around.
At the end of the day, yeah, that's basically what it is. Like, and I don't think I'm going to survive very long if the rest of the world's extinct.
No. I also remember the question. Part of the question was like, you have enough supplies to live out the rest of your life on this station.
Okay.
Wait, so even if we press the button and half,
You're
of the-
you're living regardless.
I'm
You
living
are gonna live
on
out
the space
rest of
station
your
no matter
natural
what?
life.
I
Yes.
think let's get away from you as an individual, just
Yeah.
the concept. Do you save half the people by sacrificing half?
Nope,
I would.
I don't.
just let them all die.
Well, I'm
That sounds so like cruel, but
That
it's-
is cruel.
No, it's just it's
you have a
matter of
chance
like
to save the world, and you're going,
so-
nah.
why do you get to choose that half the people die? Like,
Because
why is that fair to
it's
the
not
people
so-
that die?
It's not so much more that like, oh, haha, I want to choose, but it's like, if I don't, the world can be destroyed. Like, if I don't,
could be.
could be.
Who are you to decide?
I wasn't gonna risk that. I wasn't going to
But
risk
here's
the
the
entirety
thing.
of the world.
The entire of the world gets wiped out. All humans die. In a sense, it's not a problem. We're all gone.
We're talking about all life.
all life. The whole world destroyed.
Earth becomes Mars. at
It's
that
not a
point.
problem.
Then it becomes Mars.
Half you press the button, half the people die.
Okay.
It's a problem for the next few decades dealing with that, like economically, dealing with all the deaths and just readjusting to life with a sudden decrease of human life.
I'm thinking of it more as like the philosophy aspect, like
Philosophy, like would you pull the lever on a train type thing?
more like I'm the things happen for a reason, God willing, that kind of thing. I'm not going to step in and do it. I'm not going to affect. If the asteroid hits the Earth, the asteroid hits the Earth. I'm not. I'm not going to kill 50% of the people
Especially
because
if
there's a chance that everybody's going to die.
Especially if I'm thinking about my family, I'm like, do I want to risk them
if I'm
never
in
being
that
alive
situation,
again?
can I say I would do that? I don't know. I mean,
Well, that's the whole point of
It's
this.
a crazy
Like,
situation to do.
Would you press the button?
I would
me
not.
sitting here right now would not.
You would not press that button.
Nope.
So what happens if you don't press that button and then boom, asteroid collides with the planet?
I didn't send that asteroid over, so it's not like it's my fault.
But it is your fault. You could have saved half the world. And while yes,
or my
the world,
family still could have died 50%. It's not like I get to
so
pick.
you would rather your family be guaranteed destruction rather than a possibility of them not being guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed
It's
destruction.
not guaranteed. It's a 50% chance to hit the Earth.
But what you're by not pressing the button, you're okay with them dying.
Or they won't die.
Dying with everyone else. That sounds
Or
so
they
bad.
don't
When I
do
say it
that,
out loud,
yeah.
I sound very
That is
like,
evil.
evil, but
you're like,
it's just,
I could, even if it's not just that family, like your family could die, but half the planet survives.
Okay,
Sure,
so
it's not going to be fun, but I mean, like,
let's put it simply.
at least they're alive.
Your mom and dad are right here.
'Kay.
Flip a coin, heads or tails, they both die. If, say, I flip a coin, if it's heads, they both die. Or I just kill one right now. What would you do?
I'd probably do the kill one option.
That's your problem. I mean,
Keep it
yeah.
real. Like,
Okay.
that's
So
different.
you're-
I feel like that's
So
different.
you want more of a guarantee.
I
You
want-
want more of a
I'm gonna-
result. You want something that you can
Okay.
hold on to.
correct.
I don't think there's a right answer.
I'm fine with letting it go, and I don't want to pick. I don't want the answer. Let
Well,
it be how it is.
I don't think there's
yeah.
so much is a right answer. It's debating
No,
what you
no,
think
no.
is
yeah,
the right
there's not
I
a
don't
right-
think there's
no,
a right
of
or
course
wrong
not.
answer. I can see both sides of it.
Yeah.
Just personally, I would not press that button because it's either everyone's dead, not a problem, or it misses, not a problem.
I'm not with you on that one, for sure.
But like, if
Keep
everyone,
in mind, you are still alive after this, so if the world gets destroyed, you now have to live with the fact that
I'm an introvert.
When
you
you
now have
put
to
it,
live with the fact that you pretty much doomed humanity.
when you put it in this grand aspect of like an asteroid hitting the Earth, I'm like, hey, asteroid hits. But if it's like, the mom and dad example, that's a little
That is
different for me.
different. Interesting.
I still think, I ultimately, I'd press the button.
It varies different.
Maybe
It
I would
varies
hesitate
person
for like
to
a little bit, be
Oh,
like,
man.
oh, but as the asteroid gets closer, I'm pressing it.
person.
Any other topics you want to get back to that we touched on?
I'm pretty sure the only topic we could go back to possibly was the would you rather. Or
Yeah.
The right, the wrong, and the ugly
That's
question.
okay. No, I think we
Feel free to decide who was the right, who was the wrong, and who
we
was the
milked
ugly.
that, Gavin.
Yeah.
real far. Okay.
Answer the would you rather in the comments. Let us know what you think, and maybe explain why. Would you press the button and have a 50 or a guaranteed chance that half the population or dies, or would you not press the button and roll the dice on the asteroid missing completely, or guarantee destruction to all of humanity?
No right answer.
No right answer.
All right, Ethan, do you have the song of the week for us?
Oh, the song of the week. I do have the song
Give
of
me
the week.
some tunes to listen to. Who do we got?
So the song of the week, it's a song that I like.
Naturally.
I don't really know the artist all that much either. I just know this one song. It is called Left Hand Free by Alt-J. That's Alt-J with a hyphen in between Alt and J.
Where's the hyphen at?
It's in between Alt and J. Left Hand Free. Check it out.
What genre?
I would just...
I just want an idea of what I'm
I'm not really-
Is it a slow or a fast song?
It's fast paced. It's upbeat.
Okay.
I would say it's like a
Is it like a Windows Down kind of song?
a Windows Down modern like
Summer?
pop rock type of
Okay.
song.
Cool. I can vibe with it.
Yeah. And
Nice.
that's the song of the week.
Cool. How do you guys feel about the first episode? That was we're at 53 minutes.
My goodness, I'm so sorry to put you guys all through this.
Sorry you had to hear Gavin's opinions.
I was talking about Ethan and Jacob, not the audience.
Oh.
Oh, no.
The audience
that-
totally is going to agree with me. So they probably
I
skip
w-
through that because they're like, Gavin's right. I'm just
I
gonna
think
skip
that'll
through all
be.
this. I don't want to hear what they have to
I
say.
would be much more interested to see if people, agree
Yeah,
with you.
like,
So I'm hoping for that.
I want to see maybe people who agree with you, but not quite your justifications, and maybe like, oh, I agree with Gavin, but this is why.
So you want them to be you just want to see how many agreed, but not
Well,
the
no,
justification.
I want to see
wanna
how many
see-
people come out of the woodwork.
I want to see their explanation to be like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. Maybe they'll change my mind. But
Next week we'll talk about the
Probably
cereal and all that kind of stuff. So it's fine. No, yeah, this was good. It went a lot smoother than I thought it would be.
yeah, I think so too.
Thanks for having me here.
Of course,
Behind the glass.
Behind the glass.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a glass.
Be sure to tune in next time where we watch Ethan devour an entire leather chair.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh man, I've got to pick it up from IKEA. All right. That one.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, do I have it set up?
Yeah, you have a setup.
Cool. All right, we'll bring the chair.
All right. Thank you.